Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, the 17th of December. I am going through a major change here. If you follow me on Facebook or in my private Be the Light Facebook group, I have mentioned something that God revealed to me. And I am going to try to pronounce this correctly. But he gave me on hakor. And again, if I am saying it incorrectly, forgive me. But in simple terms, on hakor means groundbreaking events, or a groundbreaking event will be taking place. And the way that God has been working in my life is to prepare me. He has been preparing me for the past 12 months to serve my purpose. And in the beginning, I was really anxious. Well, fearful, but anxious to serve, because I opened up to a different type of love and a different type of purpose, and I was anxious to do this. But God knows. He knows what we can handle based upon what's in our hearts, based upon everything that we have experienced in life and where our hearts are. And so I receive messages from time to time that are just little breadcrumbs, or little seeds, whatever you choose to call it. And he wants to see what I'm going to do with it. And he's planting those seeds in my heart, and he's prepared me to be able to handle my purpose. Because I have mentioned this before, as a child I have known that my purpose was greater than my own existence. My purpose is greater than my own existence. And that means when that is going to take place, when it is that great, it means it's going to do some shaking. It's going to do a lot of shaking in your life. Especially when you have been so accustomed to living a certain way. And it brings up, being transformed, to being changed within the spirit. Whatever you resonate with. I have not been a person who has read the Bible. I have never been able to quite understand a lot of the terms in the Bible. And it's only been this past year where I have been woken up to God's truth. And I have been shaken into my purpose. Not by my own personal choices, really. I finally saw something, and then I acted on it. But I realize now, God has always been working in the background, leading me in this direction. And so I have eliminated a lot of my personal fears of being judged or being loved by humanity. And that has been, I want to say that I give myself a pat on the back for that, but it hasn't been my own doing. It has been my growth process, because God has been holding my hand. He has been leading me, and he has been teaching me that what I think and what I feel in my heart are two different things. And then if I continuously focus on what's in my heart, because that's where God is keeping me in love and in his grace, I'll be okay. And I can see that I don't care about the views of the world. And that's the main reason why people refrain from being their true selves, refrain from doing what is right. whether it's serving their purpose or just daily living, because we are so afraid of being judged or not being loved. And when we are always doing that, and you probably know this, you miss out on a lot. You miss out on a lot of great opportunities, on a purity that exists within this world, and just the truth about what love is in general. And then a few days ago, after I received that, on Hakor message, I have been blank. My mind has been blank to wanting to share my heart. And yes, I have been busy with other things in my life, but there is usually always something that I want to give to the world. And eventually, I was just sitting here and I began talking to him, and he told me to just be still. And we all know, or he told me to just be, and that means to just be still. So please excuse me. And that means to not worry about the past, not worry about the future, and to stay present. And know that everything is going to be, is going to work out in the best way that it is supposed to for your life. And it's hard to sit and just be for a lot of people. And I know, especially for myself, a long time ago, I was fear-based. I was full of anxiety. I was worried, and I had a list of things that I always had to do. And if I didn't feel like I did them all, I didn't feel accomplished. And many of the times, my mind was overstimulated by the things that I had to do, that I never really did anything until you clean out the mind and begin doing the things that are more meaningful. And then I did a little more research, because every single time that God speaks to me, I want to know every single thing about it. The concept of being still. Yes, I know that I am just supposed to wait for the correct moment for Him to provide me with my further teachings and etc. And so I always research more. And when I research more, He gives me more. And so it brings me to this message, where He guided me, and He has told me that now I am being handcuffed to Christ. Being handcuffed to Christ. And I'm going to probably read some things here, because I don't want to get anything wrong here. But at first, what we think and what it is are two different things. I literally didn't quite understand what it meant to be handcuffed to Christ until I read the Bible a little more and had some more understanding about it. And it goes to so I'll just take you to Ephesians 3:1. It's and you can, I won't read the entire thing, but Paul refers to himself as a prisoner of Jesus Christ, and he says that he's being the prisoner himself, and that he has given God's grace. So what I was reading, though, is that Paul thought he was doing the things that he was supposed to be doing, but when Jesus appeared to him and said, and took him and led him to Damascus, he really fought that again, like he was doing. And he was kept for 3 days without any food, without any nourishment. And he was, and please excuse me, as you can tell, I am not, my mind isn't quite working today and hasn't been for a good week. So, but he was being, I guess, renewed again within his spirit, his soul, his mind, his body, every single thing. He was becoming the prisoner of Jesus Christ. The Lord was handcuffing Paul. He was trying to get his full attention, and Paul he ended up saying, "Lord, I thought I was doing your will. How could I have been so blind? You have taken away my fleshly sight and given me spiritual eyes to see. All this time I've been going on my own way. I've done whatever I thought was right, but I can't trust my own thoughts." And as I placed all of these things together, God's messages, and knowing he wanted me to just be still, he wanted me to wait and be silent, and because even though I am trying to give my heart, and I'm having major deja vu right now, so I am trying to give my heart to everybody and still be this great light that he wants me to be. I have that need to want to do that. And again, that is part of our human experience. And yes, it is great to give our love and our hearts to people so that people will live within their own light and their truth. But again, God has bigger plans for me. And I have to listen to those plans. That I am just like Paul now, who thought I was doing the will of God all this time, giving my heart and loving the world as best as I possibly can. And he says, no, I will lead you now, and I will tell you what to say, and I will show you your way. And I have been a little overwhelmed because of this information. You know, and even months ago, God told me that I will become very, very overwhelmed with what he has given to me, going to be given to me. And this is huge. I have another breadcrumb that came to me, another seed that was planted a few days ago after being handcuffed with Christ. And I can't explain anything right now because I haven't been given, you know, full details of it all. But it makes sense. Everything that he has been telling me for the past year is coming up to this point, and I am eager to do this, and I know I am capable, otherwise I wouldn't be here for me. But I just wanted to explain my absence or my silence. It is not because I am not loving the world any longer, or my friends, the other people of light. It is because I am being obedient to what God has for me. And I guess it's the type of rest that He is giving to me. And that's what I'm going to see it as. Rest. So that I can receive a little bit more later on. Because once this does begin, it's going to really begin. So regardless if I am posting or not, sharing my heart or not, you all are always in my heart, always in my mind. But again, I do this for a greater purpose other than myself, other than for the world. I do this for God. This is Christy. Much love, health, and healing your way. I am bringing purpose to your life. Take care.